All right, so here we go. So it looks like the Tyranids have taken over the Space Marine 2 dev team. Dear God. Yeah, we got a lot going on today. We got some confirmations as to what we can expect in the very near future for the next update. Yes, we're talking about weapon buffs, which I know is going to excite a lot of you guys. We're also going to be talking about two classes in particular. You guys are wanting to see some major changes around these classes. We're going to dive into that. Plus, one feature that I really think is holding this game back right now, and in the next 365 days, I really do think the dev team needs to do something about this going forward. We're going to talk about the player counts related to this as well, and we're going to go over a bunch of other stuff, including, yes, your top comment. So as always, leave a comment down below. It could end up right here in a future video. But yeah, check this out right here. So yes, the gaming season is finally in full swing as it's time to escape the cold and get cozy with your favorite game and snack. And the best way to enjoy a delicious snack is with HelloFresh, a cost-effective meal kit solution that won't hurt your wallet and will keep your kitchen clean so you can get back to what you love, gaming. And these easy to prepare meals are delivered straight to your door. And one huge advantage of HelloFresh is I don't have to worry about standing in line at a crowded grocery store anymore. And there's also variety. I never have to worry about getting bored. Choose from over 45 weekly recipes and over 100 curated picks from the HelloFresh market. Have breakfast, lunch, and dinner instantly handled. And there's plenty of snack options too. And by the way, these are all high quality ingredients straight from the farm, so you know they're fresh. And get this, HelloFresh is offering something very big, free breakfast for life while subscription is active. So click the link in the description below or scan the QR code on the screen and use my code OWGNOB10 and get 10 free meals plus free breakfast for life while subscription is active. Check it out. All right, so let's get into what's happening about Space Marine 2. Let's start from the beginning here. So yeah, there was a discussion out on the official Discord, and they were talking about teases to the next update. Check it out right here. It says, last time the termination update got teased, showcased, the update was here a few days later. This update has already been teased, and it's been a few days. Where is it at, though? And the response is this one right here from the dev team, or, you know, this is Focus Entertainment. They're very much connected to the dev team, but they say this, yeah. But termination was a big update. The next one only brings the Neo, Volkite, and some small bouncing changes. So they're kind of like also managing expectations as well with this. But it sounds like this update is coming up here very, very soon. By all indications, again, we're seeing internal stuff going on through SteamDB that they continue to update that as well. So this could be happening very, very soon. Now, also, we have this response here. What is going to be in this update? What about the bounce changes that might be included? So we're going to be seeing various weapon buffs as well. So hopefully we see them fine-tune the bolters even more. I know those have been completely underwhelming. So hopefully this is the update where we finally see the bolters sitting right where they need to be, or at least closer to where they need to be, because I still think that they need that buff. But let me know, what other weapons beyond the bolters do you think that they should potentially adjust, or if at all? Sound off in the comments down below. But also we have this as well. Check it out. The question is, what about server stability improvements? That's always a question. And the response is saying there will be in the next patch. So they keep trying to roll out those server stability improvements. Let me know again how the game is running for you guys, whatever platform you're on. Haven't seen too many complaints lately, at least from what I have seen. So I'm kind of curious to see where the community is sitting overall with the server stability for the game. All right, so we got to talk about two classes in particular. We're going to start out with this one right here. Check it out. It says this: I really don't understand the reasoning behind this. And he goes on to highlight commitment, a class perk here, of course, for assault. It says a perfectly timed dodge using a jump pack dash restores jump pack's ability charge. He says spend a charge, risk fucking it up too. Restore a charge. Can't you just dodge normally and keep your charge in the first place? I'm really puzzled. And we got some responses. A perfectly timed dodge, and he crosses out this, of course, restores jump pack's ability charge. And the response is, this change alone would be such a massive, much needed buff for assault. So it seems like you guys want this one particular change to really up the maneuverability and mobility of the assault class even further. And I think it would be a badass change if they can add something like that into the game for sure. And some people found some other reasons to use this perk. Here's examples right here. There's another perk that gives you 25% increased damage after perfect jump pack dash. And number 2, for the science, the light of Omnissiah will guide our path. And someone also noted there's also another one that damages enemies in the path of your dash. So if you're really good at perfect dodges with jump pack dash, you could just be a blur who gets whittled down by ranged fire, but you refill armor with gun strike. So there's multitude of ways to, of course, play the Assault. Let me know how your setup is looking, of course, but it would be cool to see some changes committed to for the Assault for sure. And, you know, of course, the sentiment I am seeing about the Assault class is this as well. In general, I found Assault to have the most lackluster perk tree of all the classes I've played. You know, anytime I try to hop into a game as Assault, I really have not too many issues. It seems like it's not the most popular class to play as. I could be wrong. Sound off if you are an Assault main, because I don't want to ruffle any Assault feathers out there for sure, but I'm sure someone's like, how dare you say that about the Assault class? The Assault class is absolute badass, but yeah, let me know how you guys are feeling about Assault right now. All right, so we got to talk about Tactical. Tactical is my go-to class and was a big discussion out here on the Steam forums. Check it out right here. Tacticals with grenade launchers ruining every game. Why do they bring the solo weapon to a co-op fight? Have you guys also noticed this? And we got a response here that I definitely wanted to highlight. It says, yeah, perk that restores entire grenade load seems definitely broken, like the devs overlooked it. They'll probably patch it with the next update. I personally don't use it with the perk and use grenades sparingly to deal with hordes or stun enemies like it was intended. Spamming the entire load to kill several Majoras ruins my personal enjoyment. But then again, I feel like Bolt Gun itself can use a bit more love. So it's weird. It seems like some people are kind of, I don't know, wanting a nerf to this perhaps. Sound off if you think this is something that should happen with, in particular, to the grenade launcher for the Tactical, because it sounds like some people are like, hey, why are you ruining my fun? Like, leave me some enemies. But yeah, here is another response. Someone had an idea. A step in the right direction would be to rework TAC ammo's refund count to refund 35% total ammunition reserve included instead of one mag. This would buff all bolters across the board and would nerf only the grenade launcher. For plasma, this is already the case. Don't know about the percentage refilled, but refilling your entire important ammunition every 30 seconds is dumb. Only getting 3 to 4 nades every 30 seconds would make it still usable frequently, but not as spammable. So it's the spam that players are kind of worried about right now, and it seems like it's kind of upsetting the balance, so to speak, when it comes to team synergy, and someone is kind of like taking all the glory, I suppose you would say. But let me know if this has been a problem you've been running too often, or if you're like, hey, leave it as is. The game is supposed to be where you have a power fantasy, even if you're solo or playing with others, it doesn't matter. And then some of you are like, hey, you know what, adjust this for sure. It definitely needs to be fine-tuned. But yeah, I definitely want to talk about a unique feature to this game, especially like compared to a game like Helldivers 2 or even other co-op games. That's kind of bringing down the experience the longer you play the game. And I really do think that this needs to be resolved in the next year or so. Check it out right here. It says Warhammer Space Marine 2 mod solves one of the game's biggest problems. And this is related to, of course, that Astartes Overhaul mod. And the article goes on to describe, of course, one of the big issues is going into a lobby and being faced with the fact that you are sharing a class with another player, and then there's that conflict, and then you have to change your class loadout. This is really, I think, affecting also player numbers, because I think players are also saying to themselves, I don't even have to deal with this at all in Helldivers 2. Why wouldn't I just go over to Helldivers 2, where this is not a problem? And I have suggested that they need subclasses at the very least, something like that, to open up the options where, hey, you could have 2 variations of tacticals playing alongside each other in one round instead of having to, you know, hold up the entire experience. And I think it would actually make that player count increase. As you can see right here, this is the situation right now. We have, you know, the 24-hour peak was about 18,000 or 19,000 or so. And I was hoping that we would be sitting at more after that recent operation that was added into the game. So I think that we would see players return to the game knowing that, there's a sense of relief that they don't have to keep like running into that struggle just to get into a game. So I really do think that this should be like top priority for the dev team to try to resolve that issue sooner than later. But yeah, then there's some really cool details that you might have missed out on because they're so nuanced but badass. We got to take a look at this right here. Check it out. Ejected bullet casings bear the Imperial Aquila. Thought it was a pretty neat little detail. Look at that. That is incredible. What a photo right there. And we got some comments about this one as well. Point of order, bolter rounds are not bullets. Yeah, that's also a good point right there as well. And exactly, a bolter weapon shoots bolts, not puny mortal bullets. Always remember there is a difference right there. But what a amazing detail. But we also have this as well. The tactic is a bit hard to understand. Can someone please elaborate? And this is what the chat said. It says, don't interrupt Tyranid reinforcement calls. The response was, reason? And the thought process behind this is it decreases the numbers of Tyranids. And people were like, well, what's the actual tactic here? It's simple. To kill more Tyranids. It says, he's in the throes of the red thirst. Let the enemies come for Sanguinius, my brothers. Hell yes. So yeah, you know, some people just like the absolute carnage as well. And to kill even more Tyranids is a job well done. Let me tell you what. Let me know if you guys are the same way. If you actually let them call in reinforcements. I myself, I love letting them call in reinforcements unless it's like becoming absolutely like near death type experience where I'm like, we got to get out of here. Let's finish up this mission. But for the most part, I love facing off against these massive hordes. It's part of the experience. You know what I mean? I think there should actually be like some more incentives or modifiers in terms of difficulty that reward you for allowing them to call in reinforcements. I think that would be really badass as well. All right, so yes, I also want to talk about this as well. More trim customization options would be nice. What are your thoughts on being able to customize trim color more or add trims to certain pauldrons like the Crux Terminatus one? Yeah, I think that would be cool. That's something that I have noticed that is somewhat limiting with the pauldrons, and I really do think that they should add more of that sort of thing. They haven't given any details about, you know, going full-blown into pauldron customization like that, but they have stated that, yeah, they are very interested in constantly expanding customization in this game. All right, so yes, now it's time to go over your top comments. Remember to leave a comment down below. It could end up right here in a future video, so let's do this. All right, I'm even going over the top comments that kind of like call me out as well, so this should definitely be interesting. So here we go. First one is this one right here. Please consider adding bookmarks to your vids for each talking point or asking your editors to. It's really annoying trying to find the specific subject I'm trying to hear about amongst everything else. Yes, my bad about that one. By the way, I don't use editors at all. I do all the editing on my own, and I was kind of like in a rush. I had to catch a plane. It was for something else, which I can't speak about, but got the video out for you guys. But yeah, my bad. I am going to push and make an effort to ensure that I get the video guides up in the descriptions for you guys, because yeah, that's super important. But anyway, we also have this one right here. The devs for HD and Space Marine 2 need to work on putting more levels, enemies, etc. into their games versus crossover BS. Yeah, you know, I was talking previously in the video about some comments that the Helldivers 2 creative director made, saying that he was interested in doing crossover stuff with, like, you know, Space Marine 2 or the Warhammer 40k universe, I should say, and Starship Troopers. And a lot of you guys were like, no, we don't want to see crossovers, particularly for Space Marine 2. We just want them to keep up with like the original content. No crossover BS. Keep it to the lore, to this universe, and nothing that, you know, takes it out of the universe. And I totally get where you guys are coming from. Now, if another game wants to do some sort of crossover to advertise Space Marine 2, that only benefits this community that brings in more of a player base. But that's a little bit different. All right, so next up we have this right here. Not hyped at all for crossovers. There's enough in the 40k to explore, and this is why I play this game. No need to go to lesser universes. Whoa, shots fired in the direction of other universes. Love to see the passion right there. Now it says, I love 40K and I love Helldivers 2, but please don't ruin them with crossovers. So many of you guys absolutely dislike the idea of crossovers. Let me know how you're feeling about it right now. But also, let me scroll down here because there's more comments about crossovers as well. You know, more people saying that they would rather have more 40K content than a crossover. We already have Elysian drop troopers in 40K. We don't need Helldivers. It desperately needs in-game friends list with cross-platform support where we can add, invite, and see status of friends online. I've heard this many times. Everyone I play with that has Helldivers 2 ends up on Helldivers 2 simply because it's so much easier to get together and just play. It also allows us to invite recent players, which we get with, and that opens up recommendations to get people to buy the game. It's 2024. How the hell do we not have a working social menu? Jesus. Yeah, they're quite behind in that regard, and I'm really hoping that they expand upon it. I thought they mentioned that they might look into that. I'm not going to, you know, sound off on that right now, but hopefully, again, once we have another blog post, remember we got those monthly blog posts at the end of each month. Hopefully they can mention to us what might be happening around social features. Of course, I'll keep you guys in the know about that. But thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned here for more Space Marine 2 news and updates. I have you guys covered. And I will see you all next time. Take care.